All right, Donald Trump increasingly needs help walking. It's just what it is. And corporate media will not talk about it. Talking about Trump's health, as some of you know, got me put on a White House list of media offenders. They do not want people talking about this stuff, but it is hard to think of something more important than the physical and mental health of arguably the most powerful person in the world, certainly the most powerful person in the country. He can start wars, and he does start wars. Now, I don't know how else to say it, but Donald Trump's physical decline is accelerating, and it now includes trouble walking. Now, let me walk you through, no pun intended, just the last few days. First of all, we'll get to the walking stuff. At a Medal of Honor ceremony for Major Nicholas Dockery, Trump visibly struggled to clasp the medal around Dockery's neck, took about a full minute trying to do it, and then strangely, he tied it. Okay, so we're building up the story. Here is Donald Trump, as you can see. He has the medal. He pats Dockery on the back, reaches around him, and then starts to try to clasp that medal, as many a president have done before. You think Sleepy Joe can do this? Well, actually, he did. He did it many times, and he didn't struggle. Now, you could say, well, listen, fine motor skills in his hands sort of diminish with age. Maybe he's got some arthritis. There's that hand bruising, whatever causes it. We still don't even really know. Maybe he has affected sensation in his fingers, peripheral neuropathy, as it is called, whatever. Maybe this isn't a big deal. And Trump ultimately bailing out and tying the damn thing very, very tight around Dockery's neck, and then almost kissing Dockery in an incredible display of love and affection. But whatever, fine, that's just that. So then we get to the trouble walking. Last week, as you may remember, Donald Trump had a humiliating participation in the G7, and Trump visibly needed the help of Indian Prime Minister Modi to get up onto the stage. Here is video of that, and you will see that Donald Trump, just to go up a step, reaches out and is helped up by Prime Minister Modi. Whoops. Okay. So as you see, Donald Trump tried to take the step up himself, couldn't quite do it, almost fell backwards, and then, whoa, gets help from Prime Minister Modi. Also interesting, by the way, people who have spent more time in private with Trump, like Modi knew to put his hand out to help Trump. That's a very interesting detail. I don't want to belabor it, but a very interesting detail that Modi kind of knew, hey, this guy probably needs my help. Also at the G7, kind of a weird moment, unclear here if Donald Trump is being helped by Brigitte Macron or attempting to help Brigitte Macron, the wife of the French president. But as you can see, Trump realizes, I've got to go down. He reaches out. Now they're holding hands. It's not really clear, is Trump being somehow chivalrous or what? But the whole vibe of it is, let's together help Donald Trump get down from this step. Just kind of a strange moment. And again, the picture is building. First, really quick, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors. One thing that drives me nuts about political media is how two outlets can cover the same story and make it feel like two different events took place, not because any of the facts have changed, but because the emphasis of the stories is different. This is why I use Ground News, because Ground News pulls together reporting from across the political spectrum, and you can compare the headlines side by side and see how different outlets are framing the exact same issue. You can look at the bias distribution. You can look at factuality ratings. You can see who owns the outlets behind the reporting, which makes it easier to separate the substance from the spin. For example, Trump's EPA recently decided to remove limits on those forever chemicals in drinking water. Ground News shows how outlets like PBS and Raw Story are getting it right, and right-wing outlets put this anti-Biden spin on it, or they just stay very vague to avoid implicating Donald Trump. Ground News also has a blind spot feed. This is for stories that are underreported by one side. And you can also get a personalized feed based on your interests. Go to ground.news/Pakman or scan my QR code to get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan. The link is in the description. Now back to the video. Now, here's the big revelation, which is not really a revelation, or it's a revelation about how this is not a revelation. This is not new. Remember the viral video of Donald Trump struggling to walk down the ramp at West Point. This is during Donald Trump's first term. And we had this situation where Trump was very gingerly walking down a ramp. Trump claimed, oh, it was so rainy and it was like just really slick. But as you can see, it's clearly sunny. You can see blue sky in the background. And Donald Trump very gingerly walking down the ramp and looks like he was afraid of falling. Listen, elderly folks sometimes are afraid of falling. It's not like the biggest news in the world, but this is not being dealt with in any serious manner by legacy and corporate media, or being addressed in a serious manner by the administration either. So now we have the full picture of it. Donald Trump recently attempting to walk over to reporters, and you see, especially when it is sped up, that he is going side to side. He seems unable to walk in a straight line. We've covered this before. We've talked about it. And this really happens a ton. I've got another video of Donald Trump walking to meet Putin, and he's walking side to side. It's only like a 5-foot wide red carpet, and Trump just noticeably cannot stick to the middle. Donald Trump, when walking next to his wife, Melania Trump, also bumping into her. This was after they got off of Marine One, the helicopter, and you see Trump's trying to walk straight, and boom, he just walks right into Melania. It doesn't seem to be on purpose. Is it a balance issue? Is it a neurological issue? We don't know. And then, of course, finally, Donald Trump falling up the stairs, going up to Air Force One. Whoops, falling up, which, by the way, when that happened to, I think it happened to Biden once, they said he can no longer be president of the United States. So listen, what's the big picture here? The big picture is, first, there's a lack of transparency about Trump's health. We've been covering it. Second, there are now some clear narratives and story arcs. Trump's ability to walk and balance and stand is diminishing. And people around him seem to recognize it as they put out a hand to give him a little bit of help, as they brace and stand behind him just in case something were to happen. People don't tend to do that if the perception is that you're fine. They tend to just leave you alone. And so I would love a little bit of transparency from the White House about this. And I think at the end of the day, it's just an issue of honesty. We, as the American people, we deserve to know about the physical and the cognitive state of the President of the United States. It's a modest and very humble request. We deserve to know. And this is, of course, now leading from the physical into the cognitive. And I don't have great news there for you either.